I say, walk by the Spirit and you will not carry out the desires of the flesh. Don't read this as sin nature. This is not how he's used this at all. He hasn't used this as sin nature yet. Let me take you back over here really quickly. Very important to chapter 3, where he says, you foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you? Let me ask you this. Did you receive the Spirit by the works of the law, or hearing by faith? Having started by the Spirit, are you now being made perfect by the flesh, by the works of the flesh? And then he says, and then he coincides that. I can't think of the word I want right now. In verse 5, he says, does he who supplies the Spirit to you and works miracles among you do so by works of the law? So flesh and the works of the law in chapter 3 are the same thing. The works of the law are accomplished by what means? Through the flesh. And so when he says over here, where are we? When he says over here in chapter 5, I say walk by the Spirit and you won't carry out the desires of the flesh. He's saying if you live by the Spirit, there's no need to carry out the law according to the flesh. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're right or wrong, okay? I'm going to show you that he's still talking about the law. Bear with me here. For the desires of the flesh, some of your Bibles, I think just the NIV will say sin nature. It shouldn't say that. For the desires of the flesh, the desires of the works of the law are contrary to the Spirit. Why? Because the works of the law say you're only righteous if you do everything written in the book of the law. That was in Galatians chapter 2. How is that contrary to the Spirit? Well, because the Spirit says you're only righteous if you believe. Those are two different methods, right? If I tell you you're righteous through belief and somebody else tells you, no, you're righteous through works, those are two different methods that are at odds with one another. It can't be that you're righteous through belief and also that you're righteous through works if each of those are absolute statements.